A lot of people imagine being anointed as something that just happens to you, but true anointing is active, not passive. You're not waiting to be chosen, you choose yourself. Animals live in a world defined by scent. Their survival depends on their ability to pick up the aroma of life, danger, food, and other creatures. This innate ability guides them through the world. Humans, on the other hand, often rely on sight, sound, and belief, tools that are powerful but limited compared to the sensory richness of scent. The spiritual scent, the fragrance of dominion. Anointing is more than a symbolic act. It represents a fragrance of dominion, a spiritual frequency that all creation recognizes. Where animals sense the world through scent, the spiritually anointed carry an invisible signature, a powerful presence, a vibration of authority, life, and divine energy. This spiritual scent opens doors, commands respect, and grants protection in ways that words and appearances can't. But emotions like fear can mask this fragrance, distorting your spiritual signal and pulling you out of alignment with creation. That's why the process of anointing is also about recalibrating your internal state, aligning your frequency with the divine, and carrying that vibration into the world. Anointing, ritual and meaning through the ages. Historically, anointing has meant the application of oil, signifying consecration or elevation into a new role or status. Spiritually, it's about being covered with the oil of the divine, a frequency that conveys dominion and a status equal to the gods. This anointing shifts you at a cellular level, acting as a kind of spiritual hazmat suit that allows you to interact safely with higher realms and energies, protecting you from spiritual harm. This tradition has deep roots in ancient Egyptian, Kemetic spirituality. The Ankh symbolized life, and the Wa scepter represented dominion. Anubis, Anpu, served as spiritual gatekeeper, ushering initiates through a process of purification called the baptism of fire. This baptism isn't about punishment. It's a refiner's crucible, burning away the ego and anything that keeps you from growth. Growth, the balance of challenge and nurture. To grow, you need both challenge and rest. Opposition strengthens you. Safety gives you space to heal. Walking the path of the anointed means balancing these two forces, embracing spiritual awareness, what the tradition calls Heru's sonship, while remaining engaged in the world. Prophecy in a modern age. In today's world, especially on platforms like YouTube, prophecy can sometimes lose its depth and integrity. The true intention of prophetic work is deep intimacy with the divine, and its purpose is alignment, not entertainment. Authentic prophecy isn't about showing off or reinforcing personal agendas. It's about humbly sharing the heart and mind of God and creating realignment, not manipulation. When prophecy is rooted in ego rather than spirit, it loses authenticity and becomes a form of control. Discernment is vital. True prophetic leadership creates a mirror of the heavenly government structure on earth, what Christ called the ecclesia, and what we call positions like apostle, prophet, teacher, pastor, or evangelist. These are functions for the purpose of collective guidance, not religious rank. A time for self-inquiry. Ask yourself, what distracts me? What am I trying to prove? What am I afraid to lose or let go? What stands in the way of my spiritual vision? Bring these questions to the divine and listen for the answers. In closing, the anointed state is a state of spiritual immortality, carrying a fragrance that commands respect from creation itself. Ancient Kemetic symbols remind us that with life, the Ankh, and dominion, the Wa scepter, The anointed one finds the power to break limits. Growth comes by balancing the opposing forces of challenge and nurture. This is the path to sonship, spiritual awareness united with effective, purposeful action in the world.